Hi guys, I'm back again with another video. So I was doing a market breakdown of all the pairs and one index that's on the right, which is your Nas100 US, this is Franc Euro USD, but most importantly, it's your major currencies, right? So I'm gonna try, guys, now not to analyze a lot of pairs, rather focus on the less ones and also those are the ones that are quality, because trading is a quality game, not a quantity game, right? So without wasting time, let's get into the video. So as usual, I'm going to start with the DXY, as it is going to give us an indication as to how the dollar is expected or will perform throughout the week, right? So let's get to that. So on the daily time, so let me start on the daily time frame. So starting from the daily time frame, you would see that the DXY is still having this uptrend that we see over here, and then we also have that high over there, which is that's our previous high, and then we have also these levels at the bottom. So that's the last high that we have in the market, and then we also have this minor support level. So the market is currently playing between, even though it's an uptrend, but it's also currently playing between the support and that resistance being our last daily high. So let me drop it to the 4-hour time frame. So dropping it into the 4-hour time frame, we can evidently see why those levels are crucial and are important. So if we can adjust the trend lines, now we can even remove them, right, just for clean chart purposes. So then we need to focus only here. But as you can see, it's kind of like a consolidating market as of the current moment. Right, so let's just drop it down now to like break down as to what's going on here, right? So as you can see, the market has been moving in. So this was an impulse, then this was a correction, then we had a breakout retest, and then it's been doing the same thing over and over again. So the likelihood here is that the market could continue with forming high highs and high lows, high highs and high lows, till it gets to that high where it will possibly give us those sells to actually confirm that we're going to go to the downside, right? So remember, guys, to be neutral when you analyze. So what I'm trying to say here, don't be so fixated on only on one outcome. Also, like, rather have at least two options to say this is what could possibly happen, this is what also could probably happen, right? So another thing that we could see, so that's the reason why the market would buy would be based off the fact that it's forming higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it might be repeating the same pattern until it gets to that previous high, right? However, a selling scenario would come off from this point of view, which is being this our high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then if that's our lower high, then you can also see that we have that resistance over there, which is the support resistance, and then we are below this level. And for as long as we are still below this level, we're still looking for selling opportunities, right? Meaning that the buyers will only make sense above this level. Then that's how we're gonna know that we're gonna go buy and go to that level. But the fact that we're still here, and so far we have two confluences as to why a sell may be imminent, right? Meaning that we have that trend line's resistance, and then also have that resistance level. And then if you look closely there, we have a bearish engulfing candle, right? And then we might highlight as well the fact that we have this correction, because this is, if we're treating this as an impulse, then this is a version of a correction. So a breakout would be enough to say we might be headed to the downside, right? So let me just draw another trend line there, so everything just becomes a little bit clearer, right? So we have that. Okay, so let's drop it now to the 1-hour time frame. So dropping it to the 1-hour time frame, this is where now the price is going to start making sense, because as you can see at the top, right, which is the market could be going back to test this resistance in a way or in an aim to form a double top, a head and shoulder before getting to the downside. Because if you look closely here, for me, this really looks like some sort of a possibility of a head and shoulder to actually go to the downside. However, If that doesn't happen, as I said, that this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, da 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 da, which is higher low, then we might go back to the upside. And then we also have this minor support level, right? So, which is, I think the market is just playing now between the support and that resistance. So a breakout above that trend line and that resistance, we might, then it will confirm the buys. But if we have the market rejecting that level, that's when you're going to start looking for sells. However, if you miss out on the sell here, you're not late, guys. Don't worry. You can also sell at the break of this support level here. So this is what I see on the DXY. Comment down below. What do you think? And if you're still with me, guys, please do me a favor. Go down there, subscribe if you haven't. And if you have subscribed already, thank you so much. So let's move forward now to another pair, which is, I think it's Nasdaq. It's not a pair. So let's drop it to the daily time frame. So the approach may be different when it comes to indices, guys. So remember that. That's why we have different strategies. So as you can see there, we have this previous low, and then we also have that high over there, and then we could obviously have that, and also this trend line, right? So those are the ones that we're just going to focus on. We don't necessarily need to draw a structure that's from that level up until to the top. So if we can adjust the trend lines now, then you would definitely see what's going on in a clearer vision. So let's zoom in so that we can understand a little bit more as to what is currently going on in Nasdaq. So remember, guys, if the dollar becomes strong, your Nasdaq or your stocks will be sold, right? Then when the dollar is losing value, which is if it's weak, then we're going to buy your Nasdaq and something in your US30s. So as you can see, we can also know, we must not also ignore the fact that this is currently our low, and then this is our last low, right? So we need to be cautious of both levels. So as you can see, we have a nice, beautiful structure, which is first touch, second touch, and a third touch over there. And then that also being that if the market end up going to the upside, which is that could be our overall TP level in a way to actually give us what a third touch at the top, right? So that's what I see currently. So if the markets end up not going to the upside, it might wanting to give us a clearer pattern, which is at that level before giving us the buying opportunities to the upside. But as of the current moment, I think we just need to be kind of patient from the higher time frames, unless you want to go down to the lower time frames and see what you can find. But from the higher time frame perspective, I think it's best to just wait for the market to give us clear structures or something that we will need to work with, and just follow just that. So let's get clearer now to that, because as you can see, we have a nice pattern over there, which is a flag. Because flags, guys, there are patterns that act as continuation and also reversal patterns. So it's a continuation when it's coming from this direction, then correct, and then go to the upside. Then if it's coming like this and then does this, then it's a reversal pattern, right? So it's still the same flag, but it's acting both as support or it's acting as a continuation and a reversal. So you need to be able to differentiate which is which, right? So let's drop it to the 1 hour time frame, right? So dropping it to the 1 hour time frame, right? Remember, we have this current low over here, right? And then we still, in as much as this is a reversal pattern, but for as long as we have not yet broken impulsively outside of it, then we're still looking for sells, right? And then that's a nice reversal candle, meaning that as of the current moment, the market might want to come back here to give us a double bottom and test this previous low, which is 10,793.4 for one last time, which will mean that it's giving us a double bottom before it can actually go to the upside. However, it can want to continue with this type of movement till it gets to this level, where it will actually give us a full pattern now to actually confirm that we are ready to go to the upside. All right, so that is something that we can be on the lookout for. But let's drop it to the lower time frame so that we can see. So yeah, as you can see on the lower time frames, it's kind of looking for me the way I am seeing it. right? Which is, we need to look at this level, which is 10,793.2 on the 30-minute time frame, and also this level over here, meaning that if the markets end up breaking below, giving us a retest, we might wanting to come here. So the point of interest currently would be this level to see the market reaction here, and also this level, which is being the maximum or the ultimate level that we need to be on the lookout for. Right, so that is what I see on Nasdaq currently sells, but basically selling to buy, depending on which level the market is going to respect, which is either this one or that one. So let's see on the 15-minute. Yeah, on the 15-minute, it's more or less the same thing, because we can also see why it's rejecting there. We have that minor level over there. So if you have caught it there, then you would be in sales right now, and then this being your first TP, and then that being the overall TP, unless of course it reverses here, which is by means of double bottom type formation, right? So this is why I'm saying, guys, we just need to be patient. Currently, based on the current market conditions, for me, it's telling me to be patient, right? So yeah, let's move forward now to another pair, which is USD Swiss francs. So let's go to the daily time frame again. So dropping it to the daily time frame, we can see that we may have reached our higher high over there, and then the market is currently in a consolidation, right? Because it's playing between that support and that resistance level, right? And then if you look at also here, we have a correction that I see over there, meaning that if that is the highest high, because remember, guys, it does not necessarily have to come and touch that level just because the previous levels did touch it, right? The market does that. It's not something that I'm saying from my own thinking or something, but I've seen it playing out. Sometimes the market does not necessarily have to touch a certain level. It can change halfway, right? So as you can see, we have that resistance, and then we have this impulse move. So this might be a larger version of a correction as to why we could go to the downside. So let's drop it to the 4 hours. So dropping it into the 4-hour chart, right? You can literally see our touches at the top. You can literally see our touches at the top. And then if you can just fix the prices now, you see it quite clearly as to what's going on there. Meaning that first, meaning that we have that first touch, second, third, fourth, fifth, okay, first, second, third, fourth, and then that's the fifth one that I see over there. And then at the bottom, we only have 2 touches, which is the market might sell hard to actually come back and give us that third touch somewhere around about, yeah. But the levels, which is our first turning points, would be this one. And then it makes a lot of sense based off the fact that if it comes down, will be giving us a third touch there. And then that's also the level that we would be very interested in to see what will be the market reaction over there, because it can also want to go back to the top. Then unless, of course, if it breaks it, then retest and then go to the downside. So that level, guys, serves as an opportunity for either a buy or a sell, right? But now let's just focus on what is going on currently. So if you look at what's going on currently, we also have that correction, which is the market approached that level correctively, which is we have trends inside trends now, patterns inside patterns, which is for me as the person who look at trends. So let's drop it to the 1 hour. So we can literally see. So another thing, guys, we need to be cautious of the turning points, right? We need to be cautious of the fact, because that's a turning point over there, which is being that the resistance, and then the market started playing below, and then it finally broke it. And then as you can see now, we're currently at the top of the top, meaning that in as much as this was a nice breakout, which is if we had caught it earlier, we could have been on a nice sell right now. However, we need to be cautious of that level, because the market might want to go back there to test that level for one more time before actually giving us those sells. So that is the importance of highlighting your turning points. The turning points, you can use them as your exit levels, which is your take profit levels. And then even if we can adjust it a little bit down, you would see why you would see why it's so important. Because then look at that. If we ignore the last two parts and then just focus on this was a resistance, this was a resistance, resistance, resistance. So we might want to see the market going back there to the top, which is will mean you'll go back for a double top before going down. Alternatively, it could also still be some version of a head and shoulder type of pattern that might form over there, right? So that's why, guys, it's important to draw your levels correctly, because now we will understand that if the market breaks below, it serves as the best opportunity for us to sell, meaning that this will be our turning point, which is at the same time your TP levels. That would serve as our TP levels. So now we can just wait to see the market reaction below that level. We're looking for sells, but for as long as it's still there, we need to be careful, right, and not sell currently, because we wouldn't want to sell there and have the market go back there, which is just going to be a huge stop loss, right? So let's drop it to the 30-minute. Maybe it's going to be much more clearer there. And then as you can see, currently it's really rejecting there, because if we also adjust it a little bit like this, and also understand that if this is an impulse, then this might be a correction, then we might go back there, exactly what I'm saying. However, if that doesn't happen, meaning that if this is where we are supposed to draw it, then we might be in it for the fact that lower low, lower high, lower low, that might be a lower high, that will actually give us another lower low at the top, and then the market might continue doing that. Then if it ends up breaking this, then we know that this is our final TP level. However, if it changes direction halfway before it reaches our ultimate level, this is what I think could happen, meaning that we could have something like this, and then it might reject from there and go back to the top and then go down. So this is what I see on USD Swiss francs, but it's the dollar index that's going to give us an indication as to why, which is also, this could be one of the reasons why the market could be a buy, which is higher high, higher low, higher high, and then it's doing that. And then this might be a level to buy, also based off the fact that that could be a support level that we need to respect. So it would make a lot of sense as to why it could go back to test that level for one last time. So it just depends on how you want to draw it and also what you see. So comment down below, guys, what do you see? What do you think we should do here? And yeah, so let's move to Euro USD now. Let's move to Euro USD. So dropping it to the daily time frame. So you can also see on the Euro USD that we have this previous low, and then we also have that turning point over there, and then we're also inside a bearish trend. In overall, we are inside a bearish trend. We have a nice bearish trend, and it's been here for quite some time now. So it's nice, we're in a bearish trend. So let's drop it to the 4 hours. So dropping it into the 4 hours. So guys, here I see two scenarios, right? So please pay attention here. So we have that low, we have that high, right? So if the dollar is to lose strength, this is the reason why Euro USD could buy, meaning that if this is a support level, then this is why the market would buy, right? If the dollar loses value. But let's drop it to the 1 hour time frame, because I'm going to give you two scenarios here. And then we have a sensitive area over there where the market is currently rejecting. So if we want to buy Euro USD, it doesn't make sense here because we only have those minor touches, but it does make a lot of sense there, because you can see first touch, resistance was support, support, resistance, like we had a lot of rejections at those levels, right? So the market might want to test the support level for one last time, which is why I'm saying we need to be patient, because then if it comes back, if it respects the support, it might want to give us some sort of an inverse head and shoulder type of pattern before actually going to the upside. And it's going to be a very nice buy if it ends up being a buy, because if you also look at it carefully, that's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then that could be another higher high at the top, right? So that is my scenario as to why the market would buy, but the point of interest would be the support level, right? And then a second scenario now where the word is why the market would be a sell, but it looks more it makes a lot of sense as a buy more than it does as a sell, right? Because if you also cater for that level and also this one, sells would only make sense below this level, meaning that if it continues moving impulse correction, if this is a version of a correction, then we might be looking for sells below here, then the retest, and then we will know that it's coming here to test it for one last time, which is giving us a double bottom type formation before it actually go to the upside. Even besides that, if we're treating this as an impulse, then it might be going back there to give us a nice correction, which is, it'll be a bullish continuation pattern. So this is what I see. So comment down below, guys, what do you think? Is it more likely as a sell, or is it more likely as a buy? I would like to hear your thoughts. Comment it down below. Let's go to GBPUSD now. GBPUSD is similar to EURUSD. They are correlated. There is a positive correlation between EURUSD and EURUSD. So it does make sense there. So let's drop it like that, guys. Right. So remember, if your trend line at the top makes sense and at the bottom it doesn't, just leave it like that, as long as you understand what's going on. Yeah. So let's drop it to the 4 hours. So dropping it into the 4 hours, right? Dropping it into the 4-hour chart. It's more or less the same the way I see it, because if GBPUSD is to buy it based off the fact that it's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then if we end up going to the upside, it will be a result of the support level, because so far we have two confluences, which is supporting trend line, the support level, and then we also have a possibility of a bullish continuation flag, right? So let's drop it to the 1 hour time frame where everything is going to be clear, right? So if we can just delete this for a second, just to keep everything clean, and then fix our prices at the top, you would also understand what I said is most likely to happen on Euro USD. Because if the markets end up respecting the support level, and because it's currently rejecting at that level, because that's a sensitive area, and then if you look at the type of candles that are being formed over there, you would see that that's a pin bar, and if it's at resistance, it's serving as a reversal candlestick. So we are currently going back to the support level, and then buys at the current moment would only make sense above this price, which is 1.11070, meaning that you would only look for buys above it, which is at the breakout and the resistance. But for now, and the fact that it's still rejecting at that level, we're looking for it to come back here. Then we're going to see the market reaction there. If it ends up giving us another reversal candles or your bullish engulfing, then that's how we're going to know that the market is going to go to the upside. However, if that doesn't happen, you're going to see a break, retest, and then go to the downside. So also comment down below, guys, what do you think is going to happen on GBP USD and Euro USD? Are you more with the buys or are you more with the sells? So let's drop it to the last one now, which is USDCAD. So let's drop it to the daily time frame. So USDCAD has also reached its highest high, the way I see it, and then sells also, it depends on what's going to happen on the dollar. So let's drop it to the 4 hours. So dropping it into the 4-hour time frame, this is where you need to fix the prices now. So you can also see that USDCAD is like USD Swiss francs. They are currently consolidating, right? So we have this uptrending, which is this correction that I see, because it's approached that level correctively. But sells at the current moment are not yet confirmed, even though we are at resistance. And then we also impulse move, then this is going to be correction. So sells will make sense if the market is going to test that level for one last time before going to the downside. So do you realize, guys, why I'm saying that we need to be patient currently, right? Because we are still playing between the supporting trend line and also that resisting trend line. So let's drop it to the 1 hour time frame. So dropping it to the 1 hour time frame makes a lot of sense because you can literally see that from the current moment, it's looking to go back there for one more time to actually confirm the sells. So for me, I will only look for sells at that level. Alternatively, if the markets end up breaking, retest or correcting, then that's how we're going to know that the market is going to sell, right? So this is my market breakdown of focused that I see, but I feel like for now we just need to be a little bit patient for the market to just do whatever that it wants to do. Maybe starting as of tomorrow, that is when you're going to see much more clear market direction, but we're looking for sells at the current moment, unless of course it breaks above and then go to the upside. So that is it from me today. I hope you watched up until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you on the next one.